Here's a puzzle by Derektionary called Killer Treppe. I got this from the Stoker Testing Submissions channel in the CTC Discord. In the description, Derek said that the puzzle was approximately 3 out of 5 difficulties, so, take that for what you will. I'll put a link to the puzzle down in the description if you want to solve it. Let's go over the rules really quickly. So it's killer cages. So the digits inside these cells will add up to whatever number's there. So these 3 numbers add up to 20, these 3 add up to 20, these 3 add up to 21. Pretty straightforward. And the next one is, German whispers. Oh, and digits cannot repeat in cages. That's an important one. So obviously normally these 2 digits could be the same, but these 2 digits cannot be the same because they're in the same cage. Then German whispers, the green lines. Consecutive digits must be, is it consecutive? Well, he uses, adjacent digits, that's what it probably should be. He uses successive digits, but 2 digits next to each other on the line must differ by at least 5. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on with that. If you want to try the puzzle, as I said, it's going to be down in the description, so let's give this a go. The first thing I see is that this is 6, 8, 9. That's the only way to make 23 in 3 cells. And I'm actually going to start coloring this. One thing with German whispers, how do I want to do this? Let's just write this out. I like doing this. So let's say you have a low digit down here. Any of these digits, the adjacent digit, like if this was here, the adjacent digit here must be at least 5 away, which pops it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least to 6. So what kind of happens is they oscillate back and forth from a low digit to a high digit, and 5 is never on a line, because of course 5 different would be 0 or 10, which are not allowed in this puzzle. It basically switches back and forth from low to high and back again. So I'm going to start coloring high digits here. And I've just realized a couple things. But the first thing is that since it must oscillate on this line, we can do that very easily. So this is a high digit. So 6, 7, or 8 here. This is also a high digit, 6, 7, or 9, or 6, 7, 8, or 9. This couldn't be a 6 because the only digit that's 5 away from 6 is 1, so you need to put a 1 in both of these spots. If this was a 7, this would be a 1, 2. I don't think that would be a problem, because this could still be 6 and then add to 5 using this low digit. Yeah, I think that's fine. So now let's look at this line. If these were high digits, then we would have 5 high digits in the box, in the 3x3 box, and of course digits from 1 to 9 only have 4 high digits, so that's not possible. So these are high digits, and then these are low digits. So this is at most a 4, which would make this 7, 9, but it could also be a 3 and have it be 8, 9. So then this is 8 or 9. Of course, 5 away from 3 is a minimum 8, so 8 or 9, that's how I got that. This is a low digit, that's not very helpful. Oh, this must be a 7. That's just the last low digit in the box, or sorry, the last high digit in the box. Let's see. I see that at most one of these is a high digit. They can't both be high digits because that would be 5 high digits in the column. But that doesn't immediately help. Well, let's look at this. If this is a 6, this adds up to 5. So these are low digits. These are both low digits. You can't even have a 5 in this box. So that means these are a high digit or a 5. One of these is a 5, the other is, whatever is remaining. Let's see, if this is 8, this is 1, 2, if this is 3, this is a 3. This is an 8, this is 1, 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 9. That does break the puzzle. That's kind of a chain, though. but I don't think it's that long of a chain. So, yeah, let's just look at this. If this is an 8, we need to put 1, 2 into the box with it to make it be 8 plus 3 equals 11. Then this must be a 3. If we put a 4 here, then the German Whisper would be broken since there's a difference of only 4. That makes this a 4, that makes this a 9. So then this cell must be a 7. But then that's broken because 3 and 7 can't be adjacent along a German Whispers. So we know this is not 8. Actually, that was like a little bit of a chain for not much gain there. I guess we know. Let's see, if this is 7, this must be 1, 3. No, but then 6 can be anything, yeah. I was thinking there might be a digit that has to be in there or can't be in there, but no, that's not the case. If we had ruled out 6, we could do that, but not the other way around. Well, this is at most 1 or 2, I guess. Because this is, the highest this could be is 7. This is 1 or 2. Oh, and same for over here. This is 1, 2 over here. Which makes this 3 or 4. So this can't be a 7 any longer. I guess I could mark this. This is low digit or a 5. I use gray for 5s, just, I don't know, just because. Actually, you know what? Recently I switched over to yellow. I don't know if that's better or worse. That might be better. That is one thing I do need to be aware of recording these videos, that not like a lot of people are watching them, but I do want them to be like, I know people have like color blindness or whatever, just color preferences in general, and I don't want to cause problems for people who like can't differentiate colors, or just have colors that hurt their eyes. So it's not just like necessarily what I like. Anyway, so maybe I'm going to change this blue back. Yeah, let's do it that way. I like the dark pink, but the dark blue is a little bit hard to read, I find. Like, read the digits on, I mean. This is 3, 4, 5. And this is, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just what the low digit means. If this is 7, this is 1, 3. This is a 2. This is a 4. This is a 9. I don't see anything there. Can we work a little bit? Can we break into the next box here, maybe? Well, could this be a low? If this was a low, this would have to be... If this was low, this would have to be a 4, which would make this 8, 9. Is that a problem? That would make this low, which would be... Oh, you know what? I just saw something. I'm paying attention to colors rather than just solving the puzzle. 8 and 9 pair right there. That makes this a 7. Which makes this a 9, which makes this a 4. Which makes this a 7. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Sorry. I was getting ahead of myself. I was going to say it makes it 6 because it can no longer add to 5, but of course it still can add to 5. It can just be 2, 3. Oh, so this is a 9 now. This is an 8. Whoops. So that's a 3. This can't be a 3. So this can't be a 6 any longer. I guess that couldn't have been a 6 once I put the 3, 4 in there. So this can no longer be a 6 over here. I think that's good. These are both, of course, high digits. I could have probably colored that earlier. So if this was a high digit, this would have to be a 6, which would make this a 1, which would make this 1, 3. That does break the puzzle. So if this is a high digit, this can't be 7, 8, or 9. So if this is a high digit, this must be 6. To make this add up to 10, the full killer cage add up to 10, this must be 1, 3. But also you need a 1 next to a 6 on a German Whispers. We now have a 1, 3 looking down at a 1, 3 box. So that doesn't work. This must be a low digit, which can be anything. It could be 1, 2, 3, or 4, fortunately. But that does mean we have this, and we do get that information that we kind of looked at before I interrupted myself. It must be 4, 8, 9. Oh, I don't know why I didn't do this, but I just, for whatever reason, didn't color the middle spots. This is 6, 7, or 8. Unfortunately, it's weird that they're kind of except for this one, they're like almost all the same. I guess parody or whatever. Looking down here, so I'm not getting that much information. Oh, we have 3 there. What about 8? No, 8 could be here. Oh, there's a 7 right there. So this is a 5. This is a 4. This is a 5. This is a 6, 7. Okay, let's get the colors right. This is just, whoops, this is just yellow. This is, neither of these are yellow. Okay. What's left in this row is 1, 4, 6. What's left in this row is 2, 7, 9. And this is 3, 5, 8. This 4 looks up to there. I'm not going to shade these in. I think that would just be distracting. At least for me. 6 is in here somewhere. 9 down here. This cannot be a high digit. It sees an 8, 6, 7, and a 9. So this must be a low digit, which makes this a high digit, and this is an 8 or a 9. So I'm just looking at this line and what the parodies could be. If this was low, then this would be high. And both of those would be very restricted. There are 3 lows up here looking down at this one, and 3 highs looking down at this one. So if we did it that way, it would be fairly restricted. This would be a 1 or a 2. This would be a 6 or 8, but it couldn't actually be a 6. This would have to be an 8. This would be low. This would be high. This would be low. That doesn't seem that troublesome. I keep on wanting to like have all of these cells somehow see the same cell down here in this box, but they don't quite line up to rule a high digit out of any one spot, at least as far as I see. Oh, this can be a 6. I should have had that immediately, because 6 would put 1 in both of these spots, of course. If this is 7, this is 1, 2. I don't see why that would be a problem. If this was a 7, this would be 1, 2. I don't see that that's a problem. And even if it wasn't a problem, or even if it was a problem, it's not like it helps that much. There's either some simple Sudoku to do, that I'm just missing something obvious, which does happen for me quite often, or I need to break down to this line. So I don't think there's quite enough information for these two. Like, these are probably low digits, but can't be guaranteed. Seven is in there. Oh no, one of these 3 spots is a 4. That's not helpful. This is a 7, this is a 1, 2, but again, that doesn't, yeah. So let's look at this. If this is low, I said this is 1 or 2, this is an 8, this is any low digit, any high digit, any low digit. Well, let's look the other way, I guess. So if this is a high digit, if these 3 are high digits, that would be all the high digits for the row. Let's... That really is probably not helpful. I was just going to color it to just make sure I realize that the colors are opposite. Where the cells are opposite. There are 2 highs in this row, or sorry, in this column, and then there's going to be 1 more high and 1 more low down here. But that doesn't quite... So whatever these 2 are, there's going to be a third one here. So if these were low, there could still be 1 more low in this box, which would be more than enough to satisfy the box. Well, if this is low, this can't be low, so it'd be like this. It could be like this, and that's perfectly fine, I think. What am I missing here? There's a 5 here or here. Now I'm just highlighting everywhere a 5 can go, and I really don't think this is helpful. I thought I might have been onto something with just like limited to 2 spots, but I don't think so. So 8 is either here or over here. 7 is either here or over here. If this is low, this is a 1 or 2. Then this is an 8 because it can't be a 6. This is a 1, 2, or 3. This is any high digit. And then this is any low digit. And, I mean, even a 1 could easily be satisfied. This is a tricky step. I could definitely be missing simple Sudoku, but let's double check these lines, make sure I'm not missing something dumb. If this was a 3, this would be an 8, this would be anything. If this was a 3, this would be an 8, this would have to add to 7, and couldn't be 3, 4. I don't see why that would be a problem. What if this was a 1? I think summing to 9 is also fine. What about 2? If this sums to 8, does that suddenly become a problem? Well, it couldn't be 2, 6. There is a 5, so it would be 2, 3, 5. Or 1, 7. Wait, no. Did I do that backwards? If this is a 2, this has to add to 8. And it can't be 2, 6 because we just used the 2, so it would be 3, 5 like this, or it would be 1, 7 like this. That doesn't matter. Okay. We have 2 and 4 looking down into this box. Let's see, 4. Oh yeah, I said this earlier. 4 is in one of these spots. Well, what if this is 4? Then these two have to add to 6. Would have to be 1, 5. 4, 1, 5. Is that a problem? I don't think so. If this is a 4, this is a 9. If these are high digits, this or this is a 6, because we have all the high digits accounted for in the row. These are the 4 high digits. 6 can't go in the middle of the line, so one of these is a 6, one of these would be a 1. If this was a 6 and this was a 1, then this would be a 2, 4. Because of this 4 up here. So if this was a 6, this would be 2, 4, 1. Then this would be 3, 8 here, because that's the last low digit and we can't have 3, 9. That'll make this 6, 8. Put an 8 in there. Six, 2, 4 makes that 1, makes that a 2. Would put a 2 in here. I don't know. I don't think that's helpful. If this is a 6, this is a 1. This would have to add to 9. Would be 2, 7 or 4, 5, and both would work just fine. I think it's something. It must be something about this. Whoops, this box. If this is a high digit, it could be anything. But 6 is here or here. If this is high. But even if I rule that out, it's still this is 6, or it's the totally opposite situation, which is a pretty big difference. Well, if this is 6, then this is 7, 8, or 9. Okay, well that's something. Okay, I did just think of something. If this is a low digit, that's 4 lows in the column. Which means that this can't be low anymore. But this could be 5 still. But these both can't be high. No, yes, these both can't be high digits. Because if both of these were high digits, that would be. Oh no, this could be. I was on the right track for one thing, but this could be 6, 5, 1. I was going to say this must be low, but that's not true. But the other thing, that if this is low, then that's all the low digits in the column. We can't have any more low digits in the column. If this is high, this is going to be, wait, could this be 6? No, this can't be 6, 5, 1. Or 6, 5, 1, because the 1 must be there. So if this is a high digit, these both must be low digits. Which means we also have the low and all the lows in the column still. So one of these is a low digit. There's not a really good way to mark that, because FPuzzles, this is a delete button, unfortunately. But that means all of these are high digits or 5s. So this is a high digit or a 5, so this is 5, 6, 8. This is 5, 6, 7. And this is just 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. What about this? If this is a 5, this adds to 5, and this is a low digit. I think this is a low digit no matter what. So that's something. I've gotten really stuck here. Really grasping at straws. Yeah, one of these is low. This is a high digit. Then both of these must be low, because the only other way would be two high digits, which doesn't work, or a high digit and a 5, which would break it as well, because it would have to be 651 or 615, either way, it doesn't matter. And that would break it with the 1. So if this is a high digit, both of these are low. This is a low. One of these is a low, which will put the 5 down here. If this is a low digit, this is a low, this is a low. These can't be low, this can't be low. So one of these digits would be low. Because unfortunately, switching it around, this could be a 1, 6, 5 if the 1 is on the line. Well, what digits can this be? That's a lot of options. If this was a 3, this would be 8 here and 9 here. And that would break the puzzle. This can't be a 3 because of this 8, 9. If this was a 3, these would both have to be 8, 9, which would put 3 8, 9s in the row. If this was an 8, this would be a 9, this would be 6, 7, this would be 1, 2. One, 2. How does that? If this would be 7, 2. And this would have to add to 5, which would make this 7, 2, would make this 1, 4. I don't see why that breaks anything. So if this is a high digit, let's look at it a different way. If this is a high digit, then that's all the high digits. These would both be low digits. And I don't see that as a problem either. This is really just stumped me here. I just looked back at the Discord message, and there is a spoiled or spoiler marked section that says if you get stuck, and I didn't click it, but so maybe this is the sticking point, like a known sticking point, as opposed to me just being blind about something, which is somewhat reassuring, because there have definitely been times where it's just like, oh wait a minute, this digit looks right up here and resolves that, and I have been sitting there for 5 minutes trying to figure out some chain of logic when it's just simple Sudoku. If this is If this is 7, this is 1 or 2. If this is 7 or 8, this is 1, 2. Because if this is 8, then this is 9, then this is 6, 7, then this is 1, 2. Okay. And then if this is 7, this is just 1, 2. So if, I'll mark that like that. If these are low, this is just a 1, 2 pair. Which feels like this almost restricts this, especially with the 3, 4 looking down. So if this is a 7, this could be a 6 or an 8. So if this was a high digit, this is, I said this was an 8. If this is a high digit, this is an 8. Because it can't be a 6. But it also can't be a 7 or a 9. It can't be a 6 because the 6 would put 1 on both sides. So this is a 1, 2, or an 8. This side can be a lot more stuff. If this is a high digit, or if this is a low digit, this must be 1 or 2 again. So 1 and 2 are on this line here. They take up the 2 low digits in this section. That definitely seems important. If this is a high digit, this could be 6, 7, 8. It cannot be 9, because 9 would make this 1, 2, and I just said this has to be 1, 2. 8 would be 1, 3. If this is 8, this is 1, 3. That's in a certain way. 2, 1, 6. So could this, maybe you have to think about it this way, could this be an 8? If this is an 8, this is low, so then this is a 7, this is a 6, this is a 1. This has to add to 6, which could be 1, 5. This has to be 3 and 8. Unfortunately, this is a 9, this is a 5, yeah. Even looking down a long chain, that doesn't help. So one thing that I definitely should have noticed earlier, 9, 9 is looking here. So if this is a 9, and this can't be a 9, okay, that's one thing. If this was a 9, this is 1, 2. But I said if this is a low digit, then this is a low digit, and it has to be 1, 2 as well. So therefore, this is not 9, and this is 9. So that's a step. That's a step. And 9 is restricted over here. Okay. That's a step. One step at a time. So this has a 6, 7, or 8 on it. Oh no, 5 could be in the box. I was going to say this must be a 5, but that's not true. If this is a 5, these two have to add to 7. Which would be 1, 6. Can't be 2, 5. Can't be 3, 4. So if this is a 5, this is a 1, 6 pair. But this couldn't be 6, because this would also need a 1. So if this is 5, this is 1, this is 6. And this is 8. Okay, let's go through that again. If this is 5, this needs to add to 7. 3, 4 is not an option. 2, 5 is not an option, so it must be 1, 6. If the 1, 6 was like this, this would also have to be a 1 for this. So this is a 1, 6, which makes this an 8, and then we look up here and we break the puzzle. So this is not 5. 5 is like this. If this was 5, for some reason I didn't think this could be 5. I thought I was going to place the 5 here now. I don't see any reason why immediately that this wouldn't be a 5. So if this is a 5, this is again 7, and it's again 1, 6, and it's again 1 here and 6 here. But this time I don't see any reason why that breaks. This would be 1, 6, 5. This would be an 8. This would be a 2. This would be... Well, this can't have a 4. Okay, that's a good question. Probably the question I should have asked a while ago. Where can 4 go in this box? 4 can't go here, can't go on this line, can't go on here because it would force a 9 with it. So this is now a 4-5 pair. So 8 is no longer possible because just even the minimum 8-4 would be too big. If this was 7, this would have to be a 1. So where can 3 go? 3 must be on this line with an 8 because it can't be with a 9. Okay, that's actually huge. This is 6, this is 8. But the bigger thing is 8 is now ruled out from there. So this is now a low digit. And this is 1, 2. I said before that, well, or I could just go by the fact this is a 7. This is 6, or actually this is just 6. Because it can't be 7, 8, or 9. Okay, there we go. We're cruising again. This must be 8 or 9. And it's a high digit. So this adds up to 6. So this is 1 or 2, which must be 2, 4 like this. These are both lows. Okay, I actually did that by accident. Just a coincidence that 5 is the color. Whoops, 5 is the digit and also the color for 5. Okay, this 2 looks up here. These can't be 6. This can't be a 1. This is 2, 3, 6. This is 1, 4, both low. So we will color that. Okay, so if this was 2, 1, this would be an 8. If this is 2, 4, this would be a 5. And this can't be an 8. There's an 8 already in the box. So this, whoops. Let's do some simple math correctly. Hard mode. Just, adding 3 one-digit numbers together. That must be like that. This is a high digit. These are not 2s. Okay, let's do this math. This is a 4. This can't be a 4 any longer, or a 1. I'm so happy that I figured that out. That was a little bit soul-crushing there for a minute, but yeah, I needed to look at 4s much, much earlier. I should have done that. Too focused on this long line. We have all the... So these are lows. These are 3, 4, 5. So this is a 3 because we have 4, 5 in the column. If this is 9, this must be 1, 5 because it needs to add to 6, and we've already used 2, 4. If it's 8, this needs to add to 7, and it must be 1, 6 because it can't be 2, 5 or 3, 4. So there's a 1 in here. So there's a 1 down here somewhere. What did I say this was? 1, 5 or 1, 6? Let's just mark that so I don't forget and have to redo some logic. This 8, 9 pair looks up here and gets rid of some options. This 2 gets rid of an option. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that was a bit slow. Definitely slow on my part. I'm not super comfortable with German whispers. But can't be comfortable with every single puzzle you solve. That's how you get better. I mean, by doing puzzles you're not comfortable with. This can't be a 2 or a 7. This is the only spot for a 7. Could have probably just looked at the fact that there were 2 7s. Looking into this box. We now have a 3, 6 pair. The only spot to put a 2 is down in the corner here. Okay, let's look at this column. There's a 2 and a 6, which is resolved immediately. Let's type the correct digits, though. Some people, I feel like Simon, when he does his videos, and Mark as well, I believe, he doesn't do the error checking. Like, so if I type 6, it highlights both of these as red. And I can't do that. It annoys me too much. When, like, I work for 10 minutes on a puzzle and realize that I just typed in a literal wrong digit, like, a dozen steps earlier. and I don't even necessarily know what's wrong at that point. I just have to either hit undo 50 times or just give up. That's or restart. I guess those are basically the options, and I just if I'm doing something obviously wrong, like typing a second digit into a box, I'm fine with that being told to me. I don't find that overly helpful. It just basically is a way to save frustration and time. But I understand other people probably have different opinions. That's why. I mean, they assume they do it how they like. Oh, one in this row. Sorry, this is a column. One in this column must be there because the 1-5 rules out from there. This is 3-8-7. 5-5-5 is over here. This is a low digit. Oh, those are resolved as well by this 4 down here. Ooh, did I break the puzzle? I did break the puzzle. I typed in this 7 right here. I think it was wrong when I typed that. Yeah, that wasn't too far. There's already a 7 in the column. For some reason I read that as a 7. Or I read this column as missing a 7. So we can redo this. Yeah, what I noticed was that 6 is going to go in here. And then 6 was going to have to go down there, but I had marked it as having a 7. Or not having a 6, and obviously that would have caused problems. What are the options for this cell? This is either a pair or a naked single. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is just a 3. So this is 1, 2, 6. We already have a 1, 2 in the row, so this is a 6. This is a 1, 2. This is 8 and 5. Oh, yeah, the 5 that I already found that I backed up over. This is 3, 6. There's a 6 right there. Let's get these colored. Okay. Oh, wait, no, there is a 6 here. I checked that earlier, but for 7, so I didn't. When I fixed the problem, I didn't then recheck it for 6s. There's a 3 right there that looks up, and then the one that I just placed looks back down. Oh, there's a 2 right here. So that's resolved, which then resolves this, which then comes up and resolves this. This is going to be low, this is going to be low, and this is a high digit. Just trying to be efficient with my changing of what I'm typing in. This is a 7, this is an 8. This is a 4 in the corner, and what do we have left? A 7 and a 9. We've solved it. Let's color the last 2 digits. There we go. This step was hard. I think that it was not as hard as I made it out to be, or how. Was that the right way to. I think I was slower than I should have been to find that, because 4 is a digit you should focus on in German whispers, because it forces a 9. And I don't remember if I said it out loud, but I repeatedly thought that 9 couldn't be on this, because I knew, like, if a 3 was on here, then an 8 would be on there. Because the 9 was in the column. So I should have thought somewhere around there, like, hey, what about 4? What about 4? Which maybe I would have had to go through some of the same logic to, like, force this to be a 4-5 pair. I'm not sure, but with this 4 and 4 not being on here, putting the 4 in this, I think would have been a big step earlier. I don't know how much of that logic. Actually, let's read what that spoiler said. If you get stuck, box 8 has some very interesting logic regarding highs and lows. Oh, it just shifted. Did he literally just edit the post while I don't know. No, he didn't. I don't know what. I felt like the text shifted. Anyway, has some very interesting logic regarding highs and lows once you look at 4s/9s in the box. Okay, so maybe I would have had to do a lot of the logic that I did, or some of the logic. But I do think was a bit slow there. Definitely like a 3 out of 5 difficulty. I think everything went pretty smoothly except for that step. Yeah, that was a hard step in a pretty smooth solve. But yeah, I did enjoy the solve, and thank you guys for watching. And I don't know how often I'll post videos on this channel. Just kind of whenever I record. Whenever I record. It's not going to be following any sort of cadence. I'm not trying to be a YouTuber. I just wanted a place for solving videos so I can just link them to the setters. Anyway, have a good day, I guess.